If you happen to be in one of those times where you feel stuck in a repetitive daily routine that's agonizing, soul sucking, and it feels like your entire system is in freeze mode, making it hard to even take the first step to break free from your comfort zone, reach your potential, or get motivated enough to feel excited about your day, maybe I got a little too dramatic with this intro, but this is that one heartwarming, inspiring book I'd love to recommend to you. This book is a Japanese bestseller and was shortlisted for the Japan Booksellers Award, and I agree why it's everyone's favorite. And so the title is What You Are Looking For is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. The plot of this book is literally the book title. You will find 5 short stories. Each one belongs to someone that is in this particular phase in their life, where they start questioning why are they here, when will they ever feel satisfied with their life, will my dream ever come true, where should I go now? And somehow they were led to this community house where there is a library, and in the library they met this mysterious librarian named Sayuri Komachi, and she knows exactly the book you need to lead you where your heart yearns to be. Interesting, right? In this book, you will find a similar pattern in each chapter. How every person in one chapter is connected to someone in the other chapter, and how one person's change can trigger changes in others' lives too. Now, what makes it so enticing to keep reading is that you'll notice every single one of us is actually struggling to escape this feeling of misery, being stuck in a situation we don't really want to be in. Like, we tend to look into other people's windows from the outside thinking how amazing their lives must be, and then ask ourselves, like, look at you, I'm nowhere near living a life like that. And we don't realize that, someone else is actually also might be looking at our window thinking the same thing that we think also. It's a merry-go-round. And here's a little sneak peek from the book. The first chapter starts with Tomoka, a 21-year-old sales assistant who feels like her job sucks. She thinks she's wasted all her potential, coming all the way from a rural town full of rice fields everywhere to Tokyo, the city, only to end up in a job that in her head she thinks anyone could do this. But she also doesn't know what else she could be doing because she feels like she's not ambitious enough. And then the second story is about Ryo. He's 35 and he dreams of opening his own antique shop. He's inspired by his favorite store he used to visit during his school days, but right now he feels stuck, thinking he doesn't have enough resources to quit his current corporate job. The third story is Natsumi's. She's in her 40s and struggling to accept the reality that she was once a magazine editor, and she almost became the chief editor but got moved to another department after she had a baby. So she's full of regrets, like if she had known everything in advance, like being reassigned during maternity leave, she would have given her full attention to her daughter, or vice versa. The next one is the fourth story. It's Hiroya's. He's in his 30s, not in employment, training, or education, just stuck at home, feeling like a burden to his mother, who continues to tolerate his passiveness. He actually tried and failed many times to make it in the working world, but he's also stuck in the mindset that he'll never be able to make a living through his illustrations and love for art, because his drawing is not acceptable as the normal. He thinks that he's weird. Closing the book, the last chapter is about Masao, 65 years old, recently retired, and clueless about what to do with all his free time now. And he's worried about becoming forgetful or a burden to his wife. So, as I share with you the snippet of the stories of these 5 main characters, we can see that they're all different, ranging from 20s and 60s, but everyone have one thing in common that we can learn from. And that is that when you have this urge, like the itch is getting itchier, you get uncomfortable with your current situation, and you keep asking, what should I do next? What should I do? Even the thought alone is an effort of making a change. Because throughout the story, we see the characters meet Sayuri Komachi, and you can tell that they're all stuck in this mindset of not moving forward. But she simply points out that they actually are, because just the act of going to the community house, walking to the library, opening up to her about what you're looking for, and then getting immersed in the books she recommends, it shows they're becoming open to anything around them that might inspire them. They're open to get invited to opportunities. And to quote from the book, "But you have to understand that even if I have some inkling about a person, I don't tell them anything. People find meaning in the bonus gifts for themselves. It's the same with the books. Readers make their own personal connection to words, irrespective of the writer's intention, and each reader gains something unique." So with this book, if you want to read each chapter on its own and really let it simmer before moving on to the next one, you totally can. You can read like one story time after time, or you can because there is an illustration in the front and it states, the characters like mini bio before it starts the story, you can search the one that you can relate to the most. You can start there. You can start randomly, because the stories in these books are more like a wake-up call. Like in Natsumi's chapter, when Madame Mizui says, "Life is one revelation after another. Things don't always go to plan, no matter what your circumstances. But the flip side is all the unexpected, wonderful things that you could never have imagined happening. Ultimately, it's all for the best that many things don't turn out the way we hoped. Try not to think of upset plans or schedules as personal failure or bad luck. If you can do that, then you can change in your own self and your life overall." I really love this one. Overall, the book is written so beautifully. It's definitely an easy read. It's detailed, and the way the author describes the mysteriousness of Sayuri Komachi, how resourceful she is, and how we slowly get to know more about her life toward the end of the story. It's just really well written. One last part I want to read to you because it's my personal favorite. When I come to this part, it's like Sayuri also said this to me directly, and it made me pause for a while. I'm going to read it. I want to go right ahead to the quote, but I think to give you context, I'm going to read some of the lines before it. "What do you do?" "Nothing great, just selling ladies' clothes in a general department store." Miss Komachi's head tilts to one side. The flower tassels on her hairpin shake and sparkle. "Is being a sales assistant in a department store really not such a great job?" I don't know what to say. Miss Komachi waits patiently for my reply. "Well, I mean, anybody can do it. It's not like it was my dream job or anything I desperately wanted to do. I just kind of fell into it. But I live on my own, so I have to work to support myself." "You manage to find employment. You go to work every day and you can feed yourself. That's a fine achievement." Nobody's ever summed up my life in this way before. Her answer makes me want to cry. It's as if she sees me just as I am. And this part really made me pause because, we tend when we are in a misery situation, we tend to feel like, the victim of it all. Like, oh, nothing is going on my way, and we just get stuck, and we start to forget how far we've come. We start to forget that, even us being able to feel the misery, being able to like think like, what should I do to get out of this situation, being able to put up with the misery is also a blessing. And we tend to forget about that. And that's what I found in the library.